At the royal auction, everyone is discussing what will happen to the auction house, but they're confident Seol will return. Here, the lawyer tells Seol that the auction house's image has been completely tarnished. First, Miss Kim died, and now their client is dead. So, Chairman Kim wants you to resign. She'll settle the matter quickly, but Seol tears up the letter, telling them to tell her it won't hurt the company because she'll be leaving. Seol then goes to talk to the police. She tells Ju Young that Yinbyum's behavior changed drastically when she revealed he is Soo-ho. He tried to force himself on me, so I grabbed whatever I could find to protect myself. It's then shown that the lights went out at that very moment. Yinbyum told Seol to stay there while he went to check the lights himself. But how could she have stayed there? She went outside and saw Soo-ho lying there, but he was still alive. She was terrified, he was bleeding profusely. She tried to stop the bleeding, causing it to splatter on his face, but he died. Park and Pyo-ong listened outside. Park explains that there were pressure marks on his wound, meaning she's telling the truth. Ju Young then says, "From what you're saying, it sounds like there was a third person there. He killed Soo-ho, who's the real killer. So you must have seen someone there. If you want to save yourself, you need to provide proof." But Seol tells her that the police should find the proof, that's their job. Here, Yuk sent the blood found on the tree for testing. The report shows it was Soo-ho's. This was solid evidence because Seol didn't leave, so there must have been a third person. Yuk tells Juwon about this, and he's also confused about the truth because he's now convinced that someone else escaped the same way as Soo-ho. Now Seol will be released, but she will still be the prime suspect in this case. Then Yuk tells Pyo-ong that they should find that third person. He's the prime suspect and he should be the first one who comes to know that Jun BM is Soo-ho. Ko-song asks who he is and Yuk tells him that Jun BM had a seizure after drinking champagne at the royal auction that day and that someone deliberately caused it. He says, Seol must have done it. Yuk says, no, we wanted to take his DNA, but we had no idea it was Soo-ho, and he was someone who already knew Soo-ho's truth. He also wanted to confirm whether it was Soo-ho or Jun BM with an allergy test. The next day, they release Seol. There, Juwon tells her, Woo-Seok cares about you a lot, so be careful. When she goes out, she finds Yuk waiting for her outside. When he sees Seol, he goes to her and says, you can keep me away from all this, but don't lie to the police. But she says, everyone caught me at the crime scene. But why are you still trusting me? He says, if you tell yourself you killed someone, then I'll stay by your side. But she seems unwell. So he stops her, saying, come to my house. Your house is in danger. Jun BM may be dead, but the killer is still alive. She pushes his hand away and starts to leave, but then faints. Then Yuk takes her home. Here, Dun sees them leaving. After that, at home, Yuk is cooking for Seol, who he brought home. When she comes out, she starts to leave, but Yuk doesn't let her go. He didn't know how to cook, but he manages to cook whatever little he knows. Then they eat together. Then Seol appears saying, our deal with Jun BM is over now, and this isn't my place. How long will I depend on you? But he's not willing to let her go. But she thanks him for supporting her so far and trusting her and then leaves. But Yuk again explains to her that she's not safe. The killer is alive. She tells him, I'm not in danger. The one who stays by my side is in danger. Hearing this, he lets her go. But Yuk's feelings for Seol are no longer just deal. Seol felt the same way, and she didn't want anything to happen to Yuk, so it was best to stay away from him. Meanwhile, we see Dun coming to Hang, the bar owner. During their conversation, Hang says that all the boys around Seol are like that. Soo-ho had a peanut allergy and so did he. But Dun says, well, Seol's first boyfriend, but all this is so old. I don't even remember. Then we see Yuk. He gets a message from Chon the hacker, and he got Han Su's address, that is the same person who killed her sister, who used to work for President Kim. The next day, Seel goes to work and meets President Kim. Kim pretends, "You've been through so much, haven't you? I prayed for you so much." She also thanks her, saying, "You sent the lawyer, so everything is settled. Now I'll prepare everything well for the upcoming auction." Just then, the manager brings Sang-mi. Seel learns that Sang-mi has been trained to host the event behind her back, and she did a good job, but Sang-mi doesn't like it. She clarifies that she did it because she wasn't there, and she doesn't want anyone to take her place, but President Kim wanted this. She tells Seel that she should take a break now. She means she should hand over her work to someone else. She tells her to go to Bususun. Seel replies, "So, you're firing me now? So, no problem. This is a big opportunity for me, the one you once had, and you were fired." As she leaves, Song-gi approaches her saying, "I had no such intentions. Don't get me wrong. But Seel insists, "You've got this opportunity, so you'll do well." On the other side, Yuk goes to Chon and Chon tells him about Han Soo. He shows him his photos and his lifestyle. Yuk recognizes him, realizing it's him. Then Dun approaches Seel. He tells her that Seel will be leaving after handling the next auction. He tells her to talk to Kim, but Seel has personal business to attend to. She tells him she'll meet him later and leaves. She then goes to Han Soo's shop, which had closed earlier. It's the same man Yuk was looking for. As she tries to enter, Dun comes and she gets scared when she sees him. He had followed her here. He asks what she's doing here at this time and she tells him she's investigating Kim's property. "I think the Taming Group painting is somewhere there," he says. He replies that it was burned in an accident, but she explains that it was all fake and that she believes the real one is kept somewhere. Dun tells her to focus on preparing for the auction. "I'll check all the properties," she says, but she angrily replies, "It's better to do your work than to bother with me. I'll take care of everything myself." The next day, at the police station, they check the cell tower records and discover that Jun BM wasn't around when Yong-soo died, and he left Royal Action before Kim's death. This means he didn't kill them, but Jun Bam became the killer's next victim, so to find out the truth they must find out about the champagne that Jun BM had drank. Juong explains that Hwang must have bought it because she arranges the drinks at the auction and Un-hai served it that day. Then they call Un-hai for questioning and show her CCTV footage from that day asking if she opened that champagne, as after checking it they discovered peanut powder had been added. She replies, "I don't know anything." However, she was also seen following Jun BM and Seol on the CCTV. Meanwhile, Yuk goes to Han Soo's address. He sees a parcel with Seol's name written on it. He takes a photo of it. Just then, Han Soo arrives. Before they can see each other, Seel pulls Yuk aside. We are then shown that Seel arrived at the same time as him, and she recognized Han Soo because she had seen him at the royal auction that day. Seel starts to leave, but Yuk was shocked to see her there. He stops her. He asks her why she's here. She asks the same question, and he tells her that the scoundrel killed his sister. "But why are you following him?" She replies, "I wasn't following him, I was just checking Kim's property, which is registered in someone else's name." He then understands that there's some connection between Kim and Han Soo, and he wants to talk to her about it, but she denies it, saying, "I don't know anything else." When she starts to leave, he stops her and asks, "Are you okay now? Are you taking care of yourself?" She says, "You should take care of yourself, too." And then leaves. Then, thinking about Han Soo, Yuk begins to remember his sister. The last time she told him she was going to meet her boyfriend, Han Soo, she had happily said goodbye. But then he immediately receives news of her death. It was said that his sister was in the passenger seat, she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which is why she died. While Han Soo survived, and evidence of sleeping pills was found in her blood, and what's more, she had taken out $1 million insurance policy, of which Han Soo was the beneficiary. Remembering all this, Yuk becomes very angry. Then when he goes downstairs, he sees some junk, plastic, etc. lying there. This suggests that the paintings were brought here. So he quietly installs a tracking device in Han Soo's car. Meanwhile, Un-Hai is being questioned as they now suspect her. They ask her, "Why are you following Seal that day?" She replies, "I didn't kill anyone. I was following Seal that day just to see what she was doing. And when they left alone, I thought it was strange. Then I followed them, but she left again." Then she explains, "I took the video of Miss Kim and Seal." He asks, "Why were you keeping an eye on her?" She replies, "It didn't work on the police. They didn't arrest her and yet you guys only caught a wrong person. I haven't done anything." Meanwhile, Hwang was also called to the police station. Park then asks her about that day. She explains that it wasn't her champagne that day, but that chairwoman Kim had said it was a VIP event, so she would arrange it herself. He asks why she was at the event. She explains, "I went on Seal's behalf. I wanted to find a boyfriend, so I thought I'd find one. I love parties, that's why." He then asks why she went there on the day of Miss Kim's death, but she says, "I didn't do anything wrong. Miss Kim was acting very strange at that time. When she came to get coffee for herself and him, she switched their cups and she often kept an eye on Seal." She then tells him that on the day of the party, she just threatened her to stay away from Seal or she would kill her again. But she was scared because she had actually died. But when she died, she was at the party with everyone else. So she tells him to ask anyone. Meanwhile, the lawyer tells President Kim that after Jun BM's death, they need to find the next owner of the painting stealer and keep it safe. This case could go to court, which will take a long time. Then the manager shows Kim the list of her properties, telling her that it was found near Seal. Seeing this, she is shocked and tells him, "Don't you have anything else to do? Leave Seal, you have to find someone else to replace the stealer. So, find that or I'll send you to Bususan, too." Meanwhile, Yuk shows his co-worker and his boss the photo of Han Soo's hideout and the parcel, revealing that the person behind her sister's accident lives here, and that's where their operation is being conducted. It turns out the paintings were there, but they've been moved. Just then, his colleague arrives and tells him the beneficiary of the stealer painting had already been decided. He's shocked when he sees the name as it was Seal's name. This means Seal is now the owner of the stealer's painting. The same thing happened here, a connection to Seal was established and Un-Hai was released after questioning. Then Juong asks her why she hates Seal so much. She says, "I used to like her because she helped us as children. I had no problem with my brother caring for her more than me. He liked her. He just wanted her to be happy, but Seal always used her. He never got anything in return. I thought he'd leave her if her true identity was revealed. I wanted him to know that Seal isn't a victim. She's an evil who kills people." Here we see that Dun was there listening to their conversation. But then he comes forward and tells Un-Hai to leave. He doesn't get angry at her. She asks him, "Why aren't you scolding me? Why aren't you angry?" But he says, "It's probably my fault. You came all the way here because of me.